Things seem to be heating up as trade reports are escalating here as the Lakers are being linked to 3 different Chicago Bulls players. What's good, y'all, and welcome to another Lakers Digest video. I'm your host, Okechi Apakama, and before we get into the madness that is the Laker rumor mill, I want to bring your attention to something, guys. There is 94% of you guys who've recently watched our videos who are not subscribed just yet, and if you guys want more of that Laker news, Laker content, game recaps, just every and all things LA Lakers, you guys want to come right here to Lakers Digest so you guys do not miss a moment. Now, with that out of the way, guys, there is a huge topic here, guys, that we're going to get into, and it is some new reports that links DeRozan, Caruso, and LaVine to the Lakers. So, recently, out of the Athletic, Lakers beat reporter Johan Buha reported that the Lakers' interest in Zach LaVine is real at the right price. And additionally, if other Bulls players become available, the Lakers will have interest in DeRozan and former NBA champion Alex Caruso. So Johan Buha is a beat reporter for the Lakers, and he recently just came up with this huge bombshell of a report as the Lakers being linked to these Chicago Bulls players, as it seemed like the Chicago Bulls are going to go through a full rebuild here. And so the Lakers they started the season off kind of so-so, being 6-6, probably not where they would want to be at this point of the season. And so that's why some things are starting to stir up as new trade reports are starting to come out. And all of these interests kind of stem from the past, as most of these guys have all been linked to the Lakers one way or another. As in the past, DeMar DeRozan was actually the original guy, the third guy that the Lakers were going to build with LeBron James and Anthony Davis before the Russell Westbrook trade that they made. And he was going to be the original guy coming in. He was going to sign probably through a sign and trade and be that third guy with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And he also has former LA ties, being an SC guy, growing up in LA, growing up in Compton, and doing all that. And then also along with Zach LaVine, as he is also a UCLA guy. And then he just recently signed with Rich Paul, who has been well known to get their Lakers to their destination. So Rich Paul and Zach LaVine have been trying to maneuver their way out of Chicago, and one of the destinations that they've chosen is the Lakers. And then also the last name on that list was former NBA champion and former fan favorite here, still fan favorite if you ask me, for the Chicago Bulls. It was Alex Caruso, as he was also named in this report as well. So it's actually going to take quite a bit, though, because there was possible frameworks of a deal for this Zach LaVine trade possibly. And this deal would not include Austin Reaves, however, as he seems to be an untouchable player in this possible framework of a deal. And it's likely to be centered around D'Angelo Russell, as he implied that he would waive his no trade clause over the offseason, and then along with guys like Rui Hachimura and Gabe Vincent to match additional salary, along with a 2029 first pick or a 2030 first pick, as the NBA rules state that they can only trade one of those first round picks, so one of them would have to go in that trade. So this is actually going to take quite a bit for the Lakers on their end, as Zach LaVine is one of the more well-played players in the league, as he's in the middle of a max contract and he's getting paid $40 million a season. So you're going to have to do a lot to match salary to try to make a trade here. So that's why names like Hachimura and Vincent and D'Angelo Russell were all named, as these guys' salaries would all have to go to sort of match Zach LaVine's salary to bring him back here. And then along with that, they would have to trade one of their first round picks, which I'm not sure if that would be quite enough, just because Zach LaVine, like I said, he's in the middle of a max contract. So when you trade for him, you're going to trade for him for the long haul. You're not getting him for just a year rental or 2-year rental. Like, you're going to get him for the next 3 or 4 years. And he's right in the middle of his prime, as he just turned 28, and he's going to turn 29, I believe, next year. So getting a guy like a Zach LaVine in his prime would be a very interesting get for the Lakers, as he's a guy who can score in a multitude of ways, and do a lot of things on the offensive end. But I do have some questions on this trade, mostly just on him. If there was a trade for DeMar DeRozan, it would probably be a little bit easier as he is on an expiring deal, and the Lakers would have to probably sign him afterwards. And then I do have a question about that, just because DeMar DeRozan is going to turn 35 next season, and putting your trust in a 35-year-old DeMar DeRozan plus a year 22, possibly 22 year 22 season for LeBron James, and then also Anthony Davis, who isn't always healthy or 100%, would kind of be risky in my mind for the Los Angeles Lakers. And then Alex Caruso, who probably might be the safest bet in that, as he is going to be a 3-and-D level player guy, and I know a lot of teams are going to cover him, as he is a lot of teams' prizes probably this February trade deadline. So out of all of these guys, Zach LaVine obviously is probably one of the bigger names, but like I said before, like, I do have some questions with this one, just because I don't know how much better he is than what we currently have. And meaning by that, I mean D'Angelo Russell, as I do believe he is a better player than D'Angelo Russell. But at the same time, like, these two guys bring sort of different things. And D'Angelo Russell is a very, very good point guard, as his vision and his passing reads have been exceptional, especially this beginning part of the season, because D'Angelo Russell has came in with a new level of focus and effort, especially on the defensive end. So he's been pretty spectacular. And then I think part of this also stems from Austin Reaves kind of starting off on a slow start, and then there was reason to believe that even in the middle of the offseason that he would possibly grow into being that third guy. But that's still asking a lot for Austin Reaves, because he is still in his third year here in the NBA. And so right now he's currently coming off the bench. While he is playing a lot better in that role, and a lot better than when he started at the beginning of the season here, Austin Reaves kind of having that poor start is probably the reason why the Lakers were looking towards like this sort of like LaVine type deal. But I don't know how this would sort of like work, like I said, for the Lakers. And then my biggest question is probably defensively, because if you do end up trading for a guy like LaVine, and if some of those names that I mentioned earlier who are a part of this trade, mainly Rui Hachimura was the one for me, as he, I think, is one of the perfect complements next to LeBron James and Anthony Davis in that front court there, as his size and physicality and even his scoring paralysis really makes the Lakers that much better, especially when all three of those guys are playing together. So trading a guy like Rui Hachimura would be just like a big no-no for me, just because he's a very hard guy to replace, and you don't really have anybody like him on the roster, especially at his size and offensive skill level. So trading that and not getting something like that back would really, I believe, hurt the Lakers, especially in the long run, and especially against some of these bigger and like stronger teams. You're gonna need guys who are physical, who can defend, who can rebound, and then I don't know if Zach LaVine can do any of these things, especially at a high level, because him coming from Chicago and also his early days in Minnesota, he hasn't really been part of winning basketball. So I don't know what type of player we'll be getting, especially in these high leverage playoff situations. So trading for Zach LaVine, in my mind, isn't really the best idea. DeMar DeRozan might be a little bit more attainable to get, but he's also another guy that is aging and is getting up there in age. Alex Caruso, I think, is probably the best bet in possibly trading for a guy like, or trading for, but it's also going to depend on the market, as a lot of teams are going to covet Alex Caruso just because of his 3-and-D paralysis and how he can change your team defensively. So that's probably going to be it for this video, guys. I hopefully we'll see what happens, as I don't think anything is going to happen obviously right now, as none of the guys that I mentioned cannot be traded up until the middle of December. So it's due to an NBA ruling and stuff like that. So nothing's probably going to pop off here within the next month, but come back December, and if we're still in the same spot here where the Lakers are kind of fiddling things, maybe the Lakers revisit this and maybe they go after a guy like Zach LaVine. But then again, we'll see. So I've been your host here for Lakers Digest, and before I sign off, guys, I want to thank you guys. There's 200 subscribers on this account, guys. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and liking our videos. And we're going to promise to bring you guys more content, more Laker news, just every and all thing Lakers here at Lakers Digest. And I've been your host, Okechi Apakama, and I'll see you guys in the next one.